there we go. We're good to go. Good to go. Did you take care of it? Star,
She's now Spider-Woman.
Well, so if anybody's wondering why Star's freaking out, there are spiders in her room.
Possibly a whole family.
So,
It's
anyways.
No, they fight.
I,
Like, not like a family.
I didn't kill him. I just like knocked him off, so they'll probably come back eventually.
Yeah, probably up your legs, yeah.
I was about to say, if you feel a tickle
Yeah.
in the middle of the street.
I have jeans on. It's fine.
Spiders
well,
are
I can
vindictive.
crawl under it.
No, they're
Wow.
skinny jeans. That's not happening.
A spider's worst nightmare.
Skinny jeans.
Skinny jeans.
The taper.
Foiled again.
Foiled.
Skinny jeans.
My plans. Takes its curly mustache.
Is that acid washed? No.
Welcome, everybody, to tonight's episode of Roll of Fate Rebirth. Joining us tonight, we have Cricky. Oops, I put Rain. I didn't ever swap Rain and Ty, so let me do that real quick.
Did it again.
Oops. We got Rain 101 and Tigger, Gur, and your Starling, and now I've fixed it. And Hunter McHuntington's. And they all stream, they're all wonderful people. The links to their channel should be right below in the About section. I think. Did I put Hunter's? Did I put yours there? Yeah, because you're in the other. You're already in the other campaign. Yeah, you're already in the other campaign.
Okay.
I got confused because you're guesting in here. So, hey Pint, how you guys doing? All right, so, man, it's been 2 weeks since we had last week off. So, let's see if we can do a recap based on my memory without having done any prep today. So, last we left our heroes. They had been sailing down the river further into the Vale. They made a short stop in a small town along the way to grab some supplies and have their cargo checked for contraband and various other things, as the people of the Vale are very, especially now, very particular about the things that they allow to go in and out of their borders. In the town, they had a bit of arguments with each other, most of them to some extent. However, they had to reunite shortly as they discovered two rather large trolls had begun encroaching on the territory of the village. As they began the fight, a mysterious fifth fighter stepped in, played by our wonderful Hunter McHuntington's. He's playing Finveer, a returning character from our first campaign, who seems to be from the Vale and seems to know a great deal about the goings-on. After barely managing to talk the trolls out of destroying the village, they managed to convince the trolls that they would come back at a later time in the evening, or a later time this evening, to help them find a cure for this kind of cancerous dark growth that was beginning to spread over their bodies. While this was going on, Nessicle, attempting to find their lost companion Bate, apparently having been kidnapped, wandered into the forest where he located a very strange creature, kind of a hauntingly menacing creature that they had it out, and it was actually, I think both of you were beginning to run out your time clock. It was actually surprisingly close, but it looks as though these creatures may have kidnapped Bate and taken her further into the Vale. After the combat went on for a little bit, this creature seems to have been called elsewhere as it suddenly turned and fled. Meanwhile, back with the rest of our friends, as they had told the trolls they would come back, the city guard came up, Nessicle in tow, as they quickly went ahead and tried to defuse the situation as the trolls made their getaway. After that, you guys basically hopped on the boat and made your way back down the river. However, as one errata, because Finveer was very adamant after the game that he wanted to... He did say, to be fair, you did say you would have gone out that evening before you left, and he wanted to track down the trolls. Now, Finveer, what you found...
Oh, I know. You told me.
Yeah, but nobody else knows.
Nope.
Well, okay. If you just want to go with that, okay, sure. Sure, that's fine.
Nobody.
So, Finveer left in the evening to track down these trolls and try and put them down before leaving, as they had vowed if they were not cured, they would come back and demolish the village. And that is pretty much where we left off. You guys are making your way. You were about to land at the port of Delrian last we left, but if there's anything you guys wanted to do on the journey, any conversations you wanted to have, now would be that time.
Yes.
Okay.
I will approach the captain, I guess.
Okay. So as you guys being making your way down the river, Finveer does pop into the captain's cabin as he is apparently looking somewhat forward to having a conversation with him.
Definitely not. So just a formality.
Yeah, real quick, I will have everybody take their headphones off for just a second.
Oh shoot.
Okay. So, as you kind of knock on the door, you just kind of hear a gruff affirmative to come in. As you kind of push the door open, you see the captain kind of sitting at the other end, just his hands kind of folded, with his chin resting on his fists. So tell me a little more, because I'm not satisfied with what I've gotten so far, Finveer.
Okay, what would you like to know then? Because there's a lot to talk about, and I don't really know where to start.
What in the gods' names is going on in here?
Nothing good. I'm sure you can tell that much.
And your arm, what is with that?
Funny enough, I've always kind of had this. Not since I was... So when we met, I had this. It's kind of grown.
I see.
I've been trying to stop it and trying to find anything I can to put an end to it, but it's directly linked to what's happening in the forest, in the Vale.
And I can only assume this is why Brinley has been chasing you.
Brinley's been chasing me because I told her to leave me alone. I told her there was no hope for me. There's no getting that through to her at all. I guess.
And you should have known that going into this.
I should have. I don't want her to get hurt. I never asked her to search for me. I
haven't seen her in nearly a month, Finveer.
And I haven't seen her either, but I'm gonna find her. She's in the forest. I can find her.
So, why did you feel necessary to leave then?
To leave the group, to leave everyone behind, because I was seeing that they were getting hurt, because I was surrounding them with this curse. I left because I felt it was the right thing to do, and I figured there was no cure for this, and if I did go crazy or mad, I didn't want to be responsible for hurting any of them. I've seen enough death.
Well, that's a noble reason, but you should have known better. Brinley was never going to just let you go.
I was stupid in thinking that she would. I came in here to talk to you about, well, this, and also that the trolls from the other day are... they're dead.
You put them down?
I was intending to, but... no. Those creatures did. And what's strange is that I've never seen them act like that. I've never seen them work together for any kind of cause. But they were coordinated. There were 5 of them, and they were there. And if there were less, I'd be able to get rid of them. But no, not with that many of them.
Well, I can only guess that all of your paths will be taking you further into danger. These are good people. Well, most of them. And they're your responsibility now.
They convinced me to come with them, to assist them. I'll put down my life to protect them. If they think they can stop this and save my home, I'll do anything.
Well,
they're a bit naive. I'll give them
yes.
that.
I'll give you that, and they don't seem like much, but neither did I at one time, and I'm sure you've come a long way since I first knew you.
I'm a bit different.
Yes. Well, find Brinley. Not a request.
Wasn't planning on doing anything else other than, of course, helping these fine individuals. They are very dysfunctional right now. Is something about a sword, or they need to sort that out before anything happens. Going into this sort of situation is going to complicate things further. It's going to make it so that they have a way lower chance of succeeding.
Well, perhaps then you should do something about that.
You know, I've never really been much for motivational speeches.
Well, you're going to have to find a way.
I'll try.
And Fenrir, is that thing going to be a problem for the rest of us?
That's also another thing. If you could do me a small favor. The next time you go into town, I've tried poisons, I've tried cutting parts of it off, it comes back. If you could find me some sort of concentration of a bottled fire or something like that. I've read of alchemy that can have that fire that is almost impossible to put out. If you could find that for me.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I do not have good persuasion. Oh, I rolled well. Let's see. That is an 18.
Okay. Well, lad, I don't like the idea. But if you think it's that dangerous, then I shall find something.
I don't know how dangerous it is, and that's what makes me think it's so dangerous.
All right, get out of here. We'll talk later.
I'm sorry about the wall, I guess. As I
Get out. All right.
Yeah.
Hello.
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 And Starling. Starling's our empire for tonight.
Oh yeah, no, Empire.
Oh, he would have left. He would have left
You would
right
have
at the
left
moment.
right as soon as you were
Yeah.
gonna like tell him to come
All right,
back.
so we finished the campaign. It turns out the demons were in Hunter all along. He
I
is
got
just inner
it.
demons.
I just like thought real hard about it, and then
Okay.
they're gone.
So, meanwhile, at this point, you guys now making your way closer into Delry, and you see this port kind of growing closer towards you. As now the trees have begun to just tower, looming larger and larger. The diameter of these trunks just growing much further than even all of you together could reach your arms around. As you make your way closer to the port, it's not huge. There are a few boats, most of which are significantly smaller than yours, as it looks as though they are largely used to go up and down the river here inside the Vale. But what you do see is that a lot of these trees have been at least partially hollowed out, as they have been turned into houses themselves, or their houses built around them. Some of them even, you notice there's this particular type of tree that Fenrir would be somewhat familiar with, that actually, it almost seems to burrow in and out of the ground in sections, kind of giving it almost a snake-like appearance. As it kind of snakes through, you see different structures built in and on and around it, and these are enormous, enormous trees. Certainly unlike any of the rest of you have ever seen, probably to this point, as you were in the dead center of the Vale, where the kind of nature of this place is strongest. As you begin approaching the docks, you do see like a few people kind of like running out to prepare for this significantly larger craft. What are the rest of you guys doing? Any last minute anything before you reach
I'll
Delry?
probably just be top deck, just staring off into the forest
Okay.
by myself.
Moody little.
What, are you jealous or saying you're the only one who could be moody?
My turf.
Yeah. It's my brooding space.
My brooding
Hold
place.
on now.
We've got a bunch of brooders. in
We
this
do
game.
now.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys managed to make your way into port. Fenrir, are you know, if you get noticed, most people are going to know who you are at this point.
Hood up.
Yeah, go ahead. Is that all you're doing is putting hood up?
Well, stealthily.
I mean, you're going to have to roll me a stealth check just to see how well
That's
you can blend in.
I if I'm in foresty area, I can hide in plain sight. So
We'll allow it. You're in a city in the forest, but sure.
let's see. That is a 23.
Okay. You pull it tight around you, managing to obscure most of your face in this darkness as You manage to stick to the shadows as much as possible, which isn't too hard, as this is rather shaded. The rest of you see, as you kind of disembark, you do notice that Finveer seems to be taking extra care to keep himself covered. But otherwise, does step off the boat as normal. You see he's kind of trying to make his face avoid any contact from anyone else. As you kind of head towards the gangplank to step down on the docks, the captain kind of walks up and says, "All right, this is our stop. Don't know what your plans are from here, but I'm going to ask that you all be very careful. I don't know what all is going on here, but, well, as far as adventurers go, you're all kind of fresh, so take extra care in what you do, and take care of each other first, and hopefully you will all survive. And again, I will ask if you see my goddaughter in the forest. Brinley is her name. He kind of looks at you. Dragathir says about her height-ish. And, well, she'll be hard to miss if you run across her. Just let her know I've been looking for her, and I'll owe you a debt. I appreciate any cooperation in this, as she is not only dear to me, but her father's asked me to keep an eye on her, and I feel like I've neglected that this past month, as she has not checked in with me. So, if you be needing anything, we'll be disembarking in the morning, but best of luck to all of you. And he kind of gives you a nod and heads back into his cabin for now. What are you guys doing?
Well, I guess we better head into the city. Does anybody need to pick up any supplies?
I do need to get something identified. I just don't know that I can afford it.
Okay. that is a good question. Let me see. What do you need identified for reference?
That black stone that we've failed to identify for like 6 straight sessions.
Oh, yeah, the little stone you have?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Just making sure. I was like, did I forget an object? Yes. You gather you could definitely find somebody to identify it in this town. However, as you guys kind of get off, you guys are getting a lot of sour looks. In this city, whereas most cities, a lot of cities in their kind of respective cultures are largely made up of mostly, say, like if you're in the country, if you're in a dwarven country, it's mostly dwarves. But you might see some humans and other things milling about. Here you guys are the singular examples of any other race, as you're completely surrounded by wood elves.
I'll say...
And they all notice.
Be sure to keep your heads down. We allow for others to be in this sort of area, but mainly we keep to ourselves. So, yeah, don't do anything rash.
Okay. As you guys step down off the boat, kind of making your way into the town, people are giving you looks. They're giving you a wide berth at this point, but nobody's actually reached out to bother you. From here, I mean, where you choose to go, that is completely up to you. However, I will say, Finveer appears to be the only one that knows where you're going. I will let you guys play that out however you wish.
Last call for finding any supplies. I'm headed to hopefully find an alchemist shop.
Mind if I join you on that?
More the merrier.
Okay. Finveer, you would have been here before. The city, unlike most, isn't really walled. It is largely a sprawling, just kind of natural, organically grown mess. At least, especially to outside eyes. It makes some sort of sense to your elven sensibilities, having grown up around here. But as you guys disembark, it's going to take you probably 10 minutes or so to get to an alchemist shop from where you are. Not too far.
Good.
Okay. What is everybody else doing while they're going there then?
trying to find some, like I said, wizard shop or
Okay.
magic shop, something like that.
It's like being at
Are you-
Disneyland for the first
yeah.
time. You don't know where everything is.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll me an investigation check.
Burp. I can read.
Yeah,
11.
11. You kind of try and poke around. You see a few things that at first you think are shops, and then they end up being residences. You do manage to approach a few elves, and most of them kind of like give you a cold shoulder and turn away, pretending as though they haven't heard you. You do finally run into a kind of smaller child who comes up to you, seemingly very interested, and then their mother scoops them up and runs away. But most of them seem to be giving you especially a wide berth.
Sure.
If you would like to keep searching, you can do so. It just may...
I'm just going to go and try to track down Mercy and
Okay.
Finveer.
Okay, yeah, as you're kind of making your way in kind of this circular, almost courtyard area of the town, you saw them venture off towards the right. Go ahead and roll me another investigation check. In the meantime, Alistair and Dragathiel, what are the two of you doing?
I went with them.
Okay,
Yeah,
you went with
I
them.
did too.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, so
tag
it was
along.
it was only Ness that went.
Surprise,
Okay.
surprise.
Nobody else spoke up. I thought
yeah.
we were all splitting
Yeah.
off our own separate
It
ways,
did
too.
sound like that. Yes, I agree.
Nah, just
All right, so what did you get, Ness?
18.
Okay. It takes probably additional 5 minutes of looking more than it should have, but you do manage to kind of make your way down. And you see the two of them kind of perusing in this shop. And so the two of you, well, I guess the four of you now, since we've agreed that the four of
You
you
were
are there.
T-posing in the background.
Yeah.
I raised my hand.
Yeah, I did.
I
see
saw that. Yes.
So the four of you now in this shop, you look around and there's kind of an eclectic mix of different vials and jars and things. For those of you, the two of you who were there, it reminds you a bit of the apothecary from Indalia's Tower on a much smaller scale. There are various looking different, what you assume to be potions and things, but additionally it would appear to be like different sorts of pickled animals and like jarred eyes and different things like that. And everything, weirdly, it almost looks as though it's been kind of carved out of this singular wooden structure. Like all the shelves are kind of literally a single piece from the floor in this particular shop. And as you look around, the shopkeep at this point is just kind of eyeing you from the back, but he's not yet spoken up.
I'll approach, and in Elven, I'll say, "Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
I'm looking for something a little specific. I don't know if you carry it. I'm looking for bottled fire of alchemy. I don't know if you have any on you."
I do not have any on me here, as
Okay.
we are in a large wooden structure.
I
and
understand.
This sort of thing would be a bad idea.
Yes, I get that. But would you be interested in possibly making some? It's very important. I would not have asked if I didn't need this.
Roll me another stealth check real quick, too.
Oh, fuck. Am I in shade?
I mean, there's dim
Is
light
it-
in
it's-
here.
It's dim light?
It's
okay. I
yeah,
see.
because you guys all have dark vision, so they don't need quite the.
Okay. Then that is... Sorry, I need to check that real quick. Okay, so I'll consider it. Yeah. So that is a 22.
Okay. He seems to eye you for a second, and then he says,
I'll like
yes.
kind of like pull the hood up a little bit or something.
Well, I don't know if it would be looked kindly upon if I began selling people traveling with outsiders bottled fire in our wonderful forest home.
50 gold pieces.
Make it 60, and we have a deal.
I'll hand him 60 gold pieces.
I can have something ready within the next 2 or 3 hours.
Remember, it has to be strong, and it has to be good.
Of course. As he kind of disappears back behind the counter, he says, I shall have it soon. I assume you shall be picking it back up here.
That is correct. How long can I expect it to take?
How do you mean?
Well, I don't know the process of making this. Is it a
Well,
long process?
I said you could pick it up in 2 or 3 hours. So
Oh, 2 or 3 hours.
2
My
or
apologies.
3
I didn't.
hours.
Yeah.
If you keep asking me stupid questions, then it may take significantly
I
longer.
didn't. Yeah.
Are you intending to sit and watch me the entire time?
No. Okay. There's no
Very
need for
good.
that. Thank you, and I will see you soon. I am so sorry. There's a bunch of stuff going on.
What
with
is
that.
happening in
There's-
Canada?
It is going down over there.
All the stabbers came out in Winnipeg.
All the stabbers in
stabbers.
Winnipeg.
All his friends are stabbed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Alright.
a few months ago, there was people down like the other street. They were being held hostage, and the street was closed off.
Oh yeah,
God.
great.
So in any case,
That's what you want.
Thing there.
Yeah.
I didn't know Winnipeg was so rough.
Is it just?
Yeah.
All right, is everybody just bored or something?
it's like Wind River up
Yes.
there.
Canada gets rough. Like I'm
All
pretty
right.
sure, like in oh sorry, go ahead.
Wild
I
North.
started a tangent. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What? So this conversation finishes. Is anybody else looking to buy anything from the alchemy shop while you're here?
I say to them, potions are always welcome. If you have any gold, I'd recommend spending it here. You're not going to find any shops when we're in the forest traveling.
Okay, question.
Yes.
I'm poor, right?
You're certainly.
Mood.
I don't think you're doing great.
Yeah. Okay.
Um.
Because I don't know, like I haven't thought through that, like money and how to spend it thing part of this game. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. That's a thing. Yeah. You're not doing great.
Okay, great.
No, you're not. You're not destitute, but you're certainly close.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great.
So, anybody doing
Shopkeep.
anything at this point? Ness, you have arrived, as well.
Did you find what you were looking for already?
No,
Oh,
place is inconveniently laid out.
I guess it depends on perspective.
Well, maybe the rest of you guys are used to wandering around places that are the most incredible place you've ever been, but I am not. I've never. How do the trees get so big? And how do the people get so mean?
Time and time.
Fair.
That's a good answer. Good answer. A really good answer.
They live a long time.
Yeah.
Well, they don't take kindly to me, or my kind, I'd imagine.
Probably not. They don't really take kindly to me either. As I'm currently traveling with you all. It's no big deal though. I don't mind the cold shoulder every now and then. I'm pretty used to it by now.
But-
Well, unless anyone plans on buying anything here, I can help you find the shop you're looking for.
Thank you so much.
What is it exactly that you're looking for?
I pull out this little stone. I've been holding on to this for a week, maybe more. Still have no idea what it does.
Can I try to see what it is?
Sure. Roll me an Arcana check, unless you have Identify on you as a spell.
Oh, I do not have Identify. I don't
Okay.
even think that's a spell for.
Roll me an
rangers.
Arcana check to see if you can get any sort of idea.
That's an 18.
Total.
18 total.
There are many magic stones in this world, providing many magical effects. It's kind of difficult to tell from looking at it, but most of them do positive stuff.
Well,
It's a little difficult to tell from looking at it.
Magical, so it's a good thing.
It came from the same crate as that sword and Dragathiel's axe, both of which were cursed, so I'd prefer not to take chances on
Can I like
it's
try
a
to
magical
see
thing.
Mercy's reaction to hear like that? If like
Sure.
like
And
does he
Mercy-
react at all to like him saying it's cursed and like the same thing as the sword and everything? No.
No.
Okay. Well, alarms. I need to close my window in a second.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
Yeah, we can find someplace. I'm sure someone will have the expertise to identify this for you. They will be charging you quite a bit, though. Keep in mind
That's
you're an outsider, and
The other problem.
yeah. Okay,
Problem. Maybe I just hold on to it for now.
I could go in alone. You all stay out front, and possibly see if they don't notice that I'm with you. I
Perhaps
don't
not
know.
even out front.
Whatever you find is safest. We'll head there and we'll try it out. There's no harm in giving it a try.
Okay.
And I'll head out
Okay.
and look forward.
So as the lot of you kind of head out of here, nobody's buying anything else, right? Correct.
Right.
Hunter, what is going? Is Winnipeg burning down?
I need to
Just go shut your window.
It's your building on fire.
Yeah, are you on fire? Like,
Are
I don't
you on the lam? Like, what's the deal?
the all of Canada is on fire and burning down.
God damn!
I didn't know the Amazon was in Canada. This is
Oh,
this is ridiculous.
hell.
Yeah,
So-
that's how bad it's gotten.
Yeah.
It's never like this.
Okay, so as the rest of you kind of follow as Finveer kind of deftly navigates through this city, it takes another 10 minutes. It's not too far. You do manage to find a shop it's kind of got various sort of different sort of wood, like wind chime type things and other sort of strangely kind of like tied together, mostly with different bits of vine and things like that. It's some sort of like art piece almost, it seems like. But you notice they're kind of suspended in midair rather than being actually tied up to anything. As you kind of make your way in, you do see like another elven man from the back. So it's just you going in, Finveer?
Yeah, I'm having them stay, not even like in the front, just like a little, like a shop over kind of thing.
Okay. As he kind of looks, he says, yes, how can I help you?
I'm looking to have this identified. I came upon it a little while ago, and I don't know what exactly it is.
I see. Well, is this any sort of, do you have any background on it before I take a look?
It was in a box with 2 other weapons. Be careful with it, though. I don't know what type of magic it has on it.
I see. Very good. Well, let me take a look. It's going to be, for identifying, is going to be a 5 gold fee.
Not a problem. And I'll hand over 5 gold pieces.
Very good. Right. And you see him kind of begin to kind of focus on it for the next few minutes. Let me check something. Okay. So this is, it appears to be, at this point, it was once a luck stone of sorts. It does appear to have some sort of minor curse on it. It was a little difficult for me to pin down. But it is a rather minor curse. It seems as though somebody made this for fun, rather than being lucky. I would consider it currently unlucky.
An unluck stone, if you will.
A stone of ill luck, even. And at least until perhaps the curse is removed. I may be able to help with that for a fee.
How much?
That will be, for a curse, this is not too bad, but it will be 15 gold pieces.
I'll hand over another 15 gold.
Okay. You see as he kind of pulls out a specific sort of wand that appears to have been... Actually, roll me a religion check.
A religion?
Yeah.
11.
Okay, you don't quite... You recognize it to be... Actually, roll with advantage, because you're a forest person.
Wait, and this is, we're considered in the forest right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then that 11 was actually...
The biggest one on the planet, yeah.
14.
Okay. With advantage, did you get any better?
No, I got lower.
With a 14, it looks as though this is almost some sort of combination of a wand mixed with a holy symbol of Nila. It appears to be, like at this point, some sort of implement specifically made for removing curses. Nila being one of the nature goddesses. As he kind of like goes it out, and you see him kind of just do like a nice motion, just kind of over the top of it. A bit of just like a bit of black smoke gets absorbed into this thing, and you see the branch on it kind of twist a bit as it is made. It seems to be like a living holy symbol of some sort, and it seems to have had some effect.
You wouldn't happen to be able to enchant arrows, would you? Perhaps with holy essence or something.
I could perhaps try.
I'm gonna have to pick some up, but yeah, I would be very interested in that.
I can do many things if I'm given a little bit of time. What is it you need?
Just something that the arrows would do well against some like cursed creature or an undead, if you will.
I see. I can perhaps make that happen, though you may be better suited going to an actual cleric or someone similar to have something like this maybe blessed, or perhaps coat them in some sort of holy essence.
Fair enough.
I can do what I can, but I cannot. This is but an implement for my trade. The powers it bestows me are not as strong as those of the rest of my arcane abilities.
Okay. Well, thank you for all your help. It's done, right?
It is done. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put... So you have a luck stone. I guess you're going to give it back to Ness.
Yeah. No, it's mine. It
My
broke. I don't know what
precious,
happened. He says with a negative deception.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Adding a luck stone to your inventory, sir. It's not cursed anymore, you dumb. Whatever. I'm adding it as a cursed one for now. And you can just pretend it's not cursed.
They just added
Get wrecked
Party Rock
on.
Anthem into Twitch things,
Yeah.
and
Did they? Cool.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
I'll exit the shop and I'll like kind of hand the stone over. It's a luck stone. Take it.
Thank you.
Take-
How much do I owe you?
Oh, I managed to talk him into doing it for free. Just out of the kindness of his heart.
Roll a deception check.
Fuck.
Yeah, can I roll insight?
Yeah, roll
against his-
insight
Yeah,
against
you-
deception. Sorry.
if you roll like, that's a 4, so you need to beat a 4.
Okay, I rolled straight 5 plus 6. So
Okay, plus 6. There
Yeah.
you go.
Oh yeah, he's full of shit.
Yeah. Just don't worry about it. It's fine.
it was very kind of them.
Very, very kind of them.
Very good. It's been all in total after the identifying and removing the curse, maybe an hour's passed at this point. As you guys see Fenrir kind of waiting for his time to go up to get his whatever you. I don't think you guys actually probably heard what he was asking for, but yeah. So anything else you'd like to do before to spend this last hour before you go grab that?
Aside from getting arrows,
That's easy enough, sure.
Yeah,
You can just. I mean,
I don't know how much they cost because
they're not much, especially not here. It's one of the most it's one of the most easily accommodatable resources you can buy in a wood elf place with a bunch of trees. You're good to go. If you want to just subtract 2 gold, you can probably go ahead and how many arrows do you want? You can probably add like another 60.
60. Jeez.
Yeah,
okay.
it's not hard to find here.
Okay, yeah, 2 gold for 60. You said?
Yeah.
Was it 2 gold? Yeah.
Mhm.
I have a lot of arrows. I'll turn to everyone and I'll say, do my old friend Brindley, she was able to make holy water. I don't suppose any of you know how to do that.
I probably would know how to make holy water.
Yes,
Yeah.
you in the back.
I can do that.
Well, I'm guessing we're in a general store getting these arrows.
Basically, yeah.
Can I?
And you're just in the corner grocery, yes?
Yeah. Can I see if they have any quivers that have kind of like a waterproof base? So like normally be able to pour in poisons and then have your arrows in. So when you pull them out, they're all poisoned up and ready to go.
Sure. Roll me an investigation check.
Oh boy, not good at those.
Oh boy.
Nope.
Yeah.
What are you good at?
What did you get?
Investigation. That is 8. I rolled a 5.
You get the sense that it is a peculiar object. Somebody in town could have one. You could certainly have one made, but
It would take time.
that would take a good bit of time, and yeah, you cannot find one with your 8.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, hold off on that water. Although you might need it. I think these things, they get hurt by it. If I were to guess, I haven't really tested it out. Haven't had
Now,
a plethora of holy water, really.
what you could try doing is Dragathiel could attempt to bless the arrows directly. I would allow you to do that. You'd have to roll for success to see how many you can do, and it's only going to last for 24 hours before it fades.
Yeah.
So you'd have to kind of do this at the
We'll do
beginning
it
of each
closer to
day.
the thing if we do.
It's up to you.
I'd recommend having your weapons blessed with divine power. If any of you can do that. Might help. Anything to tip the scales into what we need it to be tipped into.
All right. Anything else anybody needs to buy? This is the last ditch buy. All right. You make your way back to the alchemist shop. The guy does kind of look around a bit grumpily as he kind of has. You feel inside this, he kind of ties this up in a kind of black sackcloth of some sort and ties it and hands it over to you. Says, now, be very careful. This is especially potent. And if you burn down the forest, you never met me.
Who are you, though?
Exactly. Well, good day. And he just
Good
kind of
day.
nods. All right. At this point, you guys having finished your shopping, it is probably a little after midday, leaving you guys the rest of the day to decide where and what you're doing.
We should probably wait until morning to leave. This is a town. We're not going to spend a lot of time in towns. Wait, is this the end of the river kind of thing? Like, do we have to go into the woods
It's
right now?
certainly the last stop that the captain is taking you guys on. You could
Yes.
always either purchase or rent another boat to go further in, or hire one if you wish to continue. The river does go further in. The location that you need to go to is a little further in, kind of towards the base of the mountains, so you could follow the river. It's kind of, if you follow the river, I don't know if any of you have the map, but if you follow the river down, it's kind of, it goes in it this way, but you actually need to be a little further up. So it's gonna take overland travel regardless.
Can I like guesstimate, like maybe do a survival roll to see how long it would take on foot? Keeping in mind that I do allow everyone to move at full speed in difficult terrain and stuff
That's
when we're in the forest.
That's right, because you're overpowered.
If
If you're, are you just going on foot?
Yeah, if we were like, I want to see how long it would be if we went on foot.
It's still going to take you guys from where you are now. Let me double check my map because I don't want to be completely wrong in this.
Because if it's like a week, I don't want to do that. But if it's like a few days, then
It's
I would
going to
wanna
be
take
less
the
than a
time to look
week,
for-
but it is
Okay.
going to be a couple days. Let me see.
Okay, that's no big deal. I mean, I would take the time to look for Brinley anyways. So looking for any.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say it's going to take you probably at least to where you know the kind of miasma to be spread now. It's kind of come up the river almost. There's a large fork as these two rivers meet, coming from the mountains, kind of pushing in further into the Vale, coming to this kind of central, almost large lake type area where you are now. It's kind of pushed up almost to the front of that fork based on the last you saw it. So it's about a 3-day journey.
Okay. We can leave in the morning, right at dawn. It'd probably be best if we go by foot. I want to keep an eye out for Brinley or any traces of her. And the captain obviously wants to see her returned as soon as possible. Although
sounds
there
like
are
a good
other
plan.
options. We could take a boat. It would cost a little bit, but we would get there a little bit faster.
I'm fine with walking.
Okay. Then I will help us find a place to sleep.
As you go in, you do manage to find a place that is willing to
Accommodate.
house you. They're not
Mhm.
super happy, and they do appear to be charging a little more than what you would expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, the total for all of you, it's going to be about 10 gold a person for one night, which is not extravagantly expensive, but it is a little
I
overpriced.
pay all of it.
Okay. So 50 total.
Whatever.
They're all very small rooms. It's like you open a door, there's a bed, and that's about it. As you guys manage to kind of squeeze into these small rooms, settling in for the evening. Who first? I need to talk. Who wants to go first between Dragathiel and Mercy?
We would also eat and stuff, right? Like there would be.
You've eaten. It's not much, but they do provide you with food. Do you guys have a preference on who goes first?
Who's gonna be?
Cool. We're gonna go with Mercy first. If you guys can take your ears off for just a second, got some story.
I
to get
can't.
through.
They're attached to my head.
All right.
Like just a second, like actually just a second, or just a second, like 5 minutes.
If you need to go to the restroom, go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. If any of the take your ears off. But if any of the rest of you need to use the restroom real quick, now's a good time. So, Mercy,
Yes.
as you settle in for the evening, the presence of your sword kind of impresses itself on you as you kind of pull it out and focus for a minute. Your vision kind of goes black, and you see these kind of cloudy visions of things long past. And then you see as it almost kind of fast forwards through time, showing you what appears to be the ancestors, the descendants rather, of whoever the sword wants vengeance on. As it kind of reaches out to you, it says, "Yes, I think our time is soon. We can become much more powerful together if you are willing to more fully trust me."
I trust you.
At this point, you see the sword become the singular point of focus in your vision, kind of hovering out of the blackness, just slightly illuminated.
I approach.
As you do, kind of like just slowly reaching out your hand, you see it kind of hit your hand, and then suddenly the hilt almost begins to meld into your body, and the sword itself begins to kind of flow into your arm as you kind of like feel this power growing within you that you've not felt before. It seems as though the sword and you have formed a deeper bond. It says, "Perhaps you should keep this quiet. I've heard the whispers of your friends. They do not trust you, and they will try to take me from you."
I agree.
Perhaps for now, we try to play it as though we are one of them before we strike back.
One of them. Who?
One of these lesser people you travel with.
Mm.
I see them as necessary tools for now, but one day it only need be us.
I agree. I very much look forward to that. Now, play into their game, you say?
Yes. Perhaps tell them I've gone. that you prayed to some god to remove me.
They'll believe it.
I know. We have a lot of work to do, Mercy. At this point, the voice begins to fade into the distance, leaving you alone in your room again, kind of holding it, looking down. So, all right. Actually, just you take your ears off.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, you go to the bathroom. Everybody else. Now I gotta talk to Dragathiel.
Got them to put the headphones back on.
Yeah, so let me talk to Dragathiel real quick. So, Dragathiel, as you sit down in your room, this kind of almost energetic buzzing sensation that's been coming out of your earring just has intensified the closer into the middle of this forest you've gotten. And it seems almost like you feel kind of warmth kind of spreading from that down to the rest of your body. It appears that something in the forest is reacting with your earring for some reason. As you kind of take it off to look at it, roll me an Arcana check.
Okay. Seven.
Yes, something is definitely different with your earring, but deducing the exact nature is difficult. It strikes you as this point, as you kind of play with it for a moment, you accidentally summon your familiar as it kind of appears on the floor in front of you, taking, however, a form that you've not seen it take before, almost of a jaguar.
Oh.
Some sort of large cat. As it kind of sits in front of you, it looks at you quizzically, kind of uncertain as to what exactly is going on. But it kind of sits there and stares.
That's different.
As it just kind of looks at you. It seems to sense that you no longer require its presence as it begins to fades. And you see its essence kind of back into the earring.
Okay, that's okay. Well, I'm going to try.
Okay.
And what am I going to try and do?
It's up to you.
Hold on, sorry.
No worries.
I'm going to... Where is it? There. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try and do a trance and see if I can like focus in on the specific energy.
Okay.
And see if I can visualize anything.
Sure. As you kind of sit holding your earring now kind of between your hands as you close your eyes and try to focus, you immediately see your vision begin to get pulled into a place you don't recognize, and yet it seems very familiar. Something you've seen in visions before, with this bits of almost blue blades of grass kind of waving in the wind as you're suddenly pulled again through a kind of endless forest of crystal trees, until finally you come to a small lake where you see a face begin to turn towards you before disappearing. As you now look, opening your eyes, you notice in front of you a small, just as you begin to open your eyes, this almost what looks to be a portal into what you just saw kind of closes back up as you catch just the glimpse of these blue blades of grass ahead of you. It seems as though your concentration now being lost, you had some window into another world, which is now closed back.
Oh, that was... And I... But who was that? Wait. If that was the real portal, and then there was a real person there. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna sit back down and try again.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead. Just roll me d20 real quick.
Okay. Three.
Okay. As you begin to focus, you hear like just a as it begins to try and open. When suddenly it does seem to shoot open for a second in front of you and then close back. But as you do, in that split second, you hear a voice kind of respond to you. And it says, Jagathiel, and then it closes back off. But at this point, the presence that you've so often felt throughout your life, trying to guide you, you feel it pushing on you now, apparently very much aware. And what you can gather is whoever just said your name is who's been sending you these whispers all your life, trying to guide you and keep you out of trouble. And now you realize here in this forest, as you go closer and closer to this imminent danger, something about the situation has made you feel far closer to this voice than you ever have. You try again a few times to no avail. And at this point you kind of realize that at least for now it seems to be a wasted effort, but you think it may be worth further investigation.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Did Ty leave?
Yes.
Did he just pull a?
He did. There he goes.
An
There you
empire.
go.
All right. So that wasn't so bad. I got through 2 people that time.
2 people.
I
Two
know.
old people.
You're getting good at this.
So now,
Oh yeah.
you
At
guys.
the end-
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. It's still nighttime, right?
It is. That's what I was about to say. You guys are about to. You can go ahead and mark off a long rest if you have forgotten to do so until now. There's a button at the top if any Starling, if you're not familiar. There's a button at the top right of the sheet. You can click it and it'll redo all of your health and everything. So Finveer, you were asking it's nighttime, yes?
Yes. What's the sleeping accommodations right now?
I mean, you all have a room, but it's like almost like those pods in Japan. Like it's tiny.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not an uncomfortable
Those are
bed, but
dope.
but there's not much space.
I'll look for the one that Mercy's in.
Okay.
I'll kind of knock. Those eyebrows.
Okay. You give a knock. Mercy, you hear just a kind of small knock at your door.
Who is it?
It's Finveer. Do you have a moment?
Sure.
I'll open the door. I'll be like, do you want to go for a walk? It's really nice in town at night. The fungus, it grows very well on the trees and glows really brightly. It's good to get some fresh air sometimes too.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's get some fresh air.
So we'll head on out.
Okay. The 2 of you make your way outside. It's for Finveer. The whole seasonality of a lot of other places is a bit foreign to you, as at least this far into the Vale, most everything stays green all year long, even things that are not evergreen. And as such, a lot of the wildlife is adapted as well. And there are almost like these large lightning bug, firefly type things that kind of begin lighting up and filling most of the air as they kind of begin to, you see them kind of come out of the tops of these large trees at night, kind of giving this kind of like haunting, but comforting glow of just kind of faintly greenish yellow light to the evening.
It's something you get to see every day. Kind of miss it. I don't spend a lot of time in the city. Not usually welcome in the city.
Why not?
Well, I can give you one guess. It has to do with an arm that's attached to my body that looks a little strange. Yeah. So I'm not good with this whole conversation thing, but I promised the
That's okay.
captain I would sort things out, I guess. Your friends are worried about you. And from my experience, friends that worry about you, it can be annoying, and you can tell them to stop, and they just continue to come after you. And it's like, no, I don't want your help. Stop helping me. And then they do it anyways. And that's because they care. And honestly, I'd much rather have friends that worry about me and annoy me than not having anybody there.
So then tell me, if they were really friends, wouldn't they trust me a little bit more to make these decisions, to do the right thing, to I don't know. I feel like they've lost faith in me. What kind of a friend would give up on someone like that?
I don't claim to know the whole story. I'm getting bits and pieces from everybody. They seem to be dodging around the subject. I don't know what happened. I don't know what's happening to you right now. But I think they're scared. And not of you, but for you. I know I've had a few people in my life who have been scared for me. And I wish I could go back and thank them. To be there for them when they needed me. And they're gone now. There's no doing that anymore. But I guess what matters is what you want. So, what gets you up in the morning? What do you want? Why do you go out adventuring?
To not be forgotten,
Okay.
to be remembered for bravery and strength, and to just not fade into history, you know?
I understand. Now, you use the word strength.
Yes.
And oftentimes people will say power is the same, but they're different.
No.
Very different. But maybe you mean power. Either or. But the difference between the two is quite drastic. Strength is something that comes from within. It comes from the support that we build with the friends and the family that we have around us. But power comes from this outside source. It's corrupting, and it's not something that can be controlled or tamed. But if you're going for power, if that's what you're looking for, then continue on that path. But know this. Going down that path, you need to be prepared to give up everything. Your friends, your family, but most important, yourself. Because whether you want to or not, you will have that all taken away from you. I know what I have is corruption. It's the definition of power. It calls to me. It tempts me. Shows me what I could have, what I could be. The strength and the power that it claims to give me. I can just feel it. It doesn't speak, but I know it's there. And I've slipped up a few times. I've used it to protect the ones I care about, but it doesn't care about that. It will continue to spread on me. I'm prepared to stop that from happening at all costs. I'm not giving into it. That's what it
what I was looking
wants.
for. There we go.
What makes you so confident that you and I are that much alike?
Nothing. I don't know if we're like, I don't know anything about you, and you don't really know a whole lot about me.
No, I don't.
But I'm just giving you broad strokes of advice and guidance, but I'm not telling you to do anything. You pick your path. Nobody else can do that for you. Not your friends, not your family. You make that decision.
Yes.
Just know that whatever path you choose, it does have consequences. And if you're prepared to pay for those, that's fine.
How are you so sure this ends so badly for me?
I don't. If it's strength that you're getting from this thing, from this sword it was, then it's strength. And it's not going to take anything away from you. It will only add to who you are. But if it's power, then I just want you to know that it will.
And who's to say that those can't coexist?
Nature. I haven't been alive for very long, actually. I'm very, very young for a wood elf, or any elf, really. But I have enough experience. I've seen it many times. And I'm hoping that at least some of these words, they resonate with you, and you just get an understanding. I'm here to help you. I'm not your enemy.
Alistair, what's your game? I mean, Fenrir. I don't know why I said Alistair.
They're both pretty new to you.
Speaking into the sky.
Alistair pops out from the bush.
Yeah, it's like, what?
How'd you know?
I was gonna try to follow them, but it all happened super fast, and so I was gonna try to follow and listen. But
Go ahead, roll me a stealth check. Alistair.
Been feeding him
Alistair,
lines
what's
like
your
Like a
game?
bad play.
So maybe that wasn't an accident.
All right.
Yeah, I did it on purpose. That would have been, how creepy would that have been?
No, that's not a good stealth check. No, 11.
She's like holding a branch, right?
Both of you roll me a perception check.
Does my passive beat that, though? My passive's 19.
I normally would say
I'll roll for it if you want.
normally I would say yes, but because this is a player versus player thing, I'm gonna make you roll
That's
for
fine.
it. I know you're gonna beat it anyways with a plus 10 or whatever the hell you have.
I got a
Plus
13.
9.
Christ.
That's
Okay, yeah.
That's a yeah, that's a 22.
Yeah, as you guys were kind
Jesus Christ.
yeah, as you guys were kind of leaving, you notice Alistair kind of following not too far behind.
I don't say anything.
Alistair, you
Take
take a guess that they might know you're following them, but they don't appear to be caring.
So
All right, sorry.
you meant
Go about what you were doing.
to- you mean to
What was I
say,
gonna say?
Fenrir?
Shit.
You said, what's your game? I
Fenrir,
think.
what's your game? I noticed that you've been pretty generous offering up gold today in multiple ways. You offer this unsolicited advice. And I'm just curious what you're getting out of all this. Nobody's that pure to the heart.
I never once said I was pure. I've made many mistakes. Many that I regret. Many that I wish I could go back and change. But I see all of you, and I see old friends that, not literally, but ones that I've left in the past. And I see this discourse between everyone. Going into what you're going into, with everyone's head so clouded, it's not good. It's not going to end well for anybody. And then everybody needs to be knowing what they want going into this. And as for the gold, I don't get to spend it anyway, so I guess it feels nice. I have a bit of it left over, but I spend all my time in the forest. I don't have any use for it, really.
So what do you suggest that I do? Let's say I heed your warning. I pick the side of strength over power. And I fight this thing. What's my next move?
Is that what you want to do?
I don't know yet.
There's a spark of doubt in you. Maybe that's why I wanted to talk, but
That's where you're wrong. I've actually never thought clearer than I do now. And I think that's the point everybody's missing. I'm not lost, I'm not confused or broken or I feel much more alive and in touch with my sanity than I've ever had my entire life. So
then why are you still here?
how do you mean?
Well, if you're so sure that you don't need your friends, that you don't need anybody, that you are on this path and you're certain that you're going down this path, then why stay?
Look, just because I'm sure of my intentions, doesn't mean I want to be alone. I mean, the reason I've been so, I don't know, honest and vocal about how I've been feeling is just so people can so the group can understand where I'm coming from.
You say they don't understand you.
I think they don't want to understand me.
I hadn't seen my father in months. Do you want to know what the first thing he said to me? The first thing he said to me when he saw my arm, in front of the entire court. He called me an abomination. He ordered me pretty much to be killed. So I left. That's why I can't go in any of these beautiful cities. The cities that I grew up in, the cities that I've traveled through my entire life. But I know that's not true. And you're not a monster. They might make you feel like you are, or try to make you feel like you are, but you're not. Sure, you have flaws. Everyone has flaws. That doesn't make you evil. That doesn't make you wrong. It just makes you different. I'm hoping that you can see that I'm coming to you to be helpful. And I don't fear whatever it is you're going through, like they might. I've had first-hand experience with being feared. It doesn't feel good to be alone. And in the end, it's entirely your decision to make. Power or strength. It's a choice we all have to make. It's the choice my father made. And he, like most, chose power, which is a much easier path to go down. Strength is difficult, it's trying, it's tiresome. But in the end, it feels like you've earned it, like it's more rewarding. If you want to be well-renowned, maybe it's better if you do go strength. Again, just an opinion.
Okay. So we go the path of strength. What do I do now?
Oh man, I do not have the answer to that. But you have a support group. You have people who are willing to help you. I might actually have an idea. Do I know if the shops and stuff close up early?
Most of them probably would be by this time of night. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the shop where the guy removed the curse.
You can go find out. If you guys are already, maybe you're...
Yeah, we're just walking around anyways.
You see that the shop is closed. You see a light inside.
Mm-hmm. I'll knock on the door.
Like, you see him kind of push him. Yes?
I'm sorry to bother you. Perhaps I can throw in a little extra gold for the unfortunate hour that I'm here.
Well, I'm eating with my family. Is it
extra
quick?
Gold. Yes, you removed the curse off of the stone that...
Yes.
Do you think you could do that, but on a different object?
I could certainly attempt to.
I'll turn to Mercy and be like, "No, are you sure this is what you want?"
Yes.
I'll turn around. Alistair, are you coming in?
Yeah, I suppose.
Ness and Dragathlu, would you also like to make yourself?
Yeah, right.
I was on the roof the entire time.
Tortang, you
Binoculars,
too?
like,
Yeah.
I was on Alistair's back.
Trench coat and mustache.
Batay and Tortang come walking around the corner together.
hey guys.
Yeah.
But
Crazy seeing you here.
Selena can ride up on her horse.
Yeah, and Selena just.
Selena rolls in on the horse. Yeah.
I would
I found me mum. Yeah, I killed her.
Cue credits.
So, you guys make your way inside. He says, "Yes, what? I'll do what I can." And what item do you have?
I'll look to Mercy and like kind of nod to bring forth the item.
You find yourself, Mercy. You are able to pull out the sword, kind of place it up on the table. As he kind of is like, "All right, let me. I don't. I'll give it a shot." And you see as he kind of begins to pull out this holy symbol of sorts again, and begins to try working on this. Poor guy. So as
Oh no.
as you see him do this, you see his brow begin to furrow as like a bead of sweat, and you see him focusing hard. You see almost like a bit of this darkness, kind of shadow-like, begin to rise out as before, Fenrir. However, instead of being absorbed, you see it wrap itself tendril-like around this holy symbol as it begins to then also wrap itself around his hand. No, you cannot.
Shoot, I was gonna say, can I like cut the holy symbol real quick?
As it then constricts and the holy symbol shatters, and you see his hand turn into like you hear several bones just crumple as he lets go. As he pulls it back, as his hand is completely just it's still together, but one finger looks like it has a bone protruding through it. He's like, what?
I'll immediately cast healing spirit for him.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I
Yeah.
did not know that would happen.
Why? What?
No shit.
Yeah, you see his hands slowly begin to mend amongst the healing light. It's coming back even scarred, even from your healing, but it's slowly beginning to knit itself back together as he's like sitting there shaking. It's like, just leave, please.
I'll put down 15 golds because that's how much the last anti-curse.
All right.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry for you as well. Now please leave.
And I'll leave with everyone else.
Yeah.
All right, he rolled real low on being able to avoid that. I got a 3 total.
Fuck.
So,
that's how you lose a hand.
Literally.
yeah. At this point, you guys now kind of standing outside, the nice little motes of these sort of bug creatures kind of still floating and giving this kind of nice glow to the outside.
So I turn to Fenrir and I say, so let me get this straight. You know basically nothing about this sword and its curse. You had this guy decurse a rock and you thought, I'll just chuck this at him and see what happens? What was your game plan here?
My game plan was to try and help. I don't know anything about magical items. I am sorry.
Thought that this sword you've been carrying around for ages hadn't tried that?
Going back to the conversation I had before, I am flawed and I make mistakes, much like everyone else. Like you as well, following people and snooping.
I didn't get someone's hand lopped off.
Not yet.
Lord, if you
again, not as intended, but I turn to Mercy and I say, hope's not lost, it's never lost. That's kind of ironic coming from me. My friend, the one who's lost in the forest, she might be able to help. And if not her, then her father. They're very up in the church, like powerful people. They're very nice as well. I'm sure they wouldn't even think twice about assisting you with this. Seems like it's going to be a little bit more of a journey to try and fix this.
Okay.
But
Okay.
good journeys come good stories, and good stories get well renowned, and you'll be known as the Curse Breaker, perhaps. That's a good name, right?
I like it.
Look, I get that you're older than most of us, certainly older than me, but like you said, you're a young elf, right?
I'm 19.
Oh, well, sorry, I missed that part. Okay, then you're younger than me.
Yeah, he's young as hell.
Okay, great. Wow, that is really young. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow,
Sorry.
you're like a child.
Yeah, no, exactly.
All right. Well, then, in that case, you're young, so you need to start thinking about the consequences that your actions could have on the people around you. I get that you want to help, and I get that you've been through a lot, but so have the rest of us. This kind of shit can't keep happening. You can't just like show up in this group of people and demand to know their like inner secrets and then be like, I can fix everything. That's not gonna fly.
I'm trying a different way of life. Before, I was more than okay with sacrificing for the greater good, but
Tell me what
I'm
that
trying.
Now you'll just let other people sacrifice? for
No,
the greater good?
I am trying to find a happy medium here, and I'm not very good at it, as you can tell. I've been spending the last month alone, okay? Just cut me some slack.
All right.
Look, I appreciate your guys' help and concern in a way that the others have yet to attempt to do. So, thank you. I know we'll it's crazy, but as little as this seemed to help, I feel. I mean, I like not just emotionally. With connection to the sword, I feel better.
Relieved, even?
A little bit. Whatever.
Perfect.
Whatever. Yeah.
When we go into the forest, there's a better chance we'll all get to survive.
Yeah.
Very
Your
good.
optimism is so charming.
It's more realism.
I'm suspecting you both have different definitions of realism.
Hey, this is my home. I know what's up.
On that note, as you guys make your way back somewhat solemnly to your rooms, you all settle in for the evening. At this point, like I said, it's a long rest. I'm going to take a quick 5-minute break before we continue on to the next day. So we'll be right back. And don't go nowhere, because the story is far from over. Woo. Woo. All right, I'm going to use the restroom. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to mute us, and then we'll be right back. Yeah, good idea. And that was the first thing they heard coming back.
Who you calling a bitch, bitch?
Yeah.
You,
So
bitch.
we're gonna
You
hop
right.
back into it.
Hey, bitch.
Right.
So the rest of you settle in for the evening. As night comes and goes, you guys waking up the next morning, you make your way outside. In the distance, you do see kind of at the edge of the port there, just the last bit of the mast of the body girl kind of still rocking, tied up. At this point, you do see as Killy comes running out. She says, "Hey guys, are you sure you don't need any help? Because this seems really important." You see her little halfling hair. She's tried to like make herself look as professional as possible. She's kind of like got it slicked and pulled into a tiny ponytail behind her, with her little outfit and daggers kind of lining her belt.
The captain's still there, right? Like at the dock.
Yeah, they're currently still at dock. They have not left yet.
I say
Soon.
Well, I have a very important mission for you then.
I can handle it, I'm sure.
Okay. The captain, he gets lonely. And now that
I'm
we're all
not that
leaving...
kind of girl.
No. He needs a friend. He needs someone to talk to. And now that everyone here is leaving, he's going to be alone, and he's going to need a friend nearby.
I think you just don't want me to go.
I don't want you to die.
I don't want you to die either.
Thanks.
Fine. Well, I imagine we'll be back in the next couple of weeks, so hopefully I will see you then.
I hope so too.
She kind of looks at all of you and she says, just be careful. And if you see Brenly, tell her I miss her. And, well, just be careful. And we'll be back. So you all stay alive and I'll see you soon.
Keep your training up.
Of course. And you see she kind of like flips a knife now much more casually.
Does she catch it?
No, she actually she like flips it up and leans out as it slots back into her belt.
Oh.
Ooh. Work.
Impressive.
Fancy.
You're going to be adventuring with the big league soon.
Yeah. Perhaps one day you'll be adventuring with me instead.
Damn.
And she just kind of turns and waves over her shoulder as she starts to walk away.
I would only be so lucky. As she's walking away.
All right, very good. At this point, you guys, the day is yours. It's a long 3-day journey ahead to make it to the edge of the miasma that Finveer spoke of. Any last-minute preparations or supplies or anything you want to grab, this is your very last chance. Okay. So, as you guys now begin making your way out of town, Finveer kind of leading you guys a little further south. As you leave the town, you notice as the woods begin to grow thicker and kind of a little bit more difficult to navigate. But as you kind of watch the steps that Finveer takes ahead of you, you're more easily able to kind of navigate this rather rugged terrain that is much denser, much more thick than any forest you guys have ever been in, and certainly much more large. As you look up, many of these trees, at least in this area, are reaching probably 200-300 feet in height. And the actual base around them appears to be, again, even if you were all kind of chained together, kind of reaching around, it would be difficult for the 5 of you to touch hands on either side. The further you get as the first day goes on, you already notice as some of the forest begins to look less vibrant and healthy as you grow closer and closer to the end of the first day. Whereas things stayed evergreen before, it is almost as if like some sort of disease has spread, as several of the trees have limbs that are completely leafless. None of them look as though they're dying yet, but it is as though they're fighting something off. As you make your way through the first day, things go relatively quietly. Is there anything you guys need to say or do?
I'm going to be looking for food and stuff on the first day, just so everyone doesn't have to eat rations and such.
Okay. Go ahead and... Are you hunting, or are you simply foraging?
Hunting.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a survival check.
That is 14.
Okay. It's towards the end of the first day, but you do manage to see what is essentially a large deer, kind of almost king of the forest type, which for the rest of you would be a rare sight, but it is something that in the Vale, Finveer has seen rather regularly. As you kind of look around and you manage to take a shot to take it down, it does drop with a solid thud as your shot just pierces right through the heart, taking it out immediately as it falls to the ground. So as you guys gather around for the fire for the evening, you do have fresh venison to partake of. And as you guys kind of gather around the fire for the evening, do you guys want to go ahead and keep watch? And if so, who's going first?
I don't mind taking first watch.
Can I cast a thing?
What would you like to do?
How big is our area? What exactly do we have around us? What are our surroundings look like? Is it just a general
You managed to find a very small clearing. The entire width of it is probably 15-foot diameter, roughly. Where there's just it looks as though maybe even other people have camped here before, as it's very nicely kind of packed down.
Okay. Can I cast alarm at the center of it?
Sure. What's the range?
The range is range/area 30 feet, but then the description says, or an area within range that is no longer than a 20-foot cube. No larger than a 20 feet.
Okay, so 20-foot cube. So it would mostly cover pretty much all of your immediate surroundings.
All right, cool. It says, when you cast a spell, you can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. So all of us.
Okay.
And I choose whether the alarm is mental or audible. Mental.
Okay, so you just want to know.
Mental. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that does mean, and so it's not mental to all of you. It's just you. Just so you're aware. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Just making sure. All right.
It awakens me if I'm sleeping. So.
Okay. Very good. So Finveer, you're taking first watch.
Yes. How
Okay.
many hours does everyone have to sleep in total again? Is it 8 or 6?
It's basically 6.
Okay.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll me a perception check as you settle in for the evening. Everybody else kind of having pulled up a bedroll and kind of gathered relatively close to each other in this area.
It's probably one of the worst rolls I could get.
Cool.
That is an 11.
Okay. As you look out into the forest, your bit of dark vision kind of allowing you to peer a bit further, you look and you just see these rows and rows of trees. Occasionally you see another small creature pass by. You see a small family of owl bears with a young cub kind of passing in the distance, but otherwise it seems as though nothing malicious has appeared to approach you so far. So
I only need 4 hours of meditation, so I'll take another watch.
We'll talk about that after.
It doesn't. You don't have that in your game?
Not fully. We'll talk about it later. I'll describe it. Remind me at the beginning of next session, because I want to write it down for you so that you're familiar. But yeah,
Okay.
You will need to pass off watch.
Okay,
You can do 4 hours of meditation so that you don't need to be in full sleep, but you do need to get at least 2 hours of sleep.
Okay.
So, who are you waking up to take second watch?
Who has high perception? I'll wake up my paladin friend.
Okay. As Dragathiel, you are shaken gently awake by Finveer. It is now your watch. Anything in particular you're doing?
I am gonna have armor of Agathis prepared,
Okay.
just in case anything happens. That's
Okay. Very good. Go and roll me a perception check, Dragathiel.
18.
18. Sure. As yeah, and you're an elf. You have dark. Yeah, I had to think if you had dark vision for a second.
Yeah.
In the edges of your vision, where it begins to fade to darkness, you see a few small creatures, just the silhouettes, kind of sneak past. As occasionally one stops. You see its Its eyes kind of look at you with a small bit of like this greenish yellow glow kind of looking at you from afar. They appear to be relatively small, maybe even a little shorter than you. And there's several of them, but it's difficult to count how many. They seem to be keeping their distance, but they're curious.
Okay. I'm going to wake up Ness.
Okay.
Quietly. And yeah, let's just get him waking up first.
Okay.
Ness. Ness.
What?
Sorry.
What?
Hey, I'm
What?
on
What?
watch, and there's something on the outskirts, and I'm gonna use my familiar to see if I can see what it is. But I need you to watch my body.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I make like a little ferret, something real low to the ground and fast.
Okay. Roll me a d20 real quick.
Okay.
Okay. You feel a strange resistance for a moment, but it does indeed appear as a ferret on your shoulder.
Okay.
And you're just sending it out into the forest?
I'm just sending it forward to see if I can get a better visual than I can from how far away I am.
Okay. Let's see. Ferrets. Are they nocturnal creatures? Let me think about this.
Pulling up Wikipedia articles.
I am,
yeah. Yeah.
Ferrets are not nocturnal.
Nope.
Are they
The
not?
closest thing is
If I will allow you to,
Sleep
if
a
you,
lot.
yeah, they do. I will allow you if you want to choose. If you're specifically wanting something with dark vision, I will.
Wait, cat?
they actually don't get it in 5e.
Really?
They do
Yeah.
have better smell and stuff, but yeah, they don't have.
Well, yeah, ferrets do. They have scent and sound, so advantage on perception checks.
Well, so does cat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to keep it as
prefer something with actual like dark vision. Trying to just get a. Well, I thought about an owl.
Gesundheit.
Ooh, or what could that be?
What do you think of summoning? Ooh.
Ooh.
I thought about an owl, but I thought maybe that would be more obvious to them if they already have an eye on me. As an owl flies up into the sky.
It's
I mean,
sort
we
of
are
an
in the woods.
ethereal,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
beastie
true.
thing, regardless.
True. I just figured the ground would give it more covering. Yeah, we'll do an owl.
Okay.
We'll go with an owl.
So the owl has advantage on perception checks that rely on hearing or sight. So as this kind of like, what size owl? I'm thinking like almost like a little barn owl, like just.
Yeah, I was thinking barn owl.
Or, yeah, like
Smaller.
yeah.
Oh boy.
As you see this little bird boy kind of boop, 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 up on your shoulder, it kind of takes flight. As your senses fade into its, go ahead and make me a perception check, and obviously that will be with advantage.
17.
So, as this little owl, you see it kind of flutter into the distance, going past your normal range of vision. As it's kind of looking out, you see a few of these creatures as they just kind of go to dart behind these large trees to try and apparently avoid this owl, as they seem a bit skittish. You do notice that several of them, best you can see, they appear to be reptilian of some sort. Some of them carrying small bows and arrows, spears, and other small things as they kind of dart out of the way. They think they have hidden from the owl, but you can kind of make them out as they just kind of disappear. You get a pretty good glimpse of them.
Okay, and I'm not familiar with any reptile people.
That's what I was about to ask. Go ahead and roll me a nature check.
Cool.
Or history, whichever is higher, which I know you think you suck at both.
They're both 0.
Yeah, okay.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah, these look like lizard people.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and have my little owl come back.
Okay. As it does, and it begins flying back. Let me see.
Oh no.
You do is like while it's still in your owl form, you hear just as an arrow kind of goes flying past it, but misses it. But rolling a 2, unfortunately, still won't hit an AC of 11. So, the little owl kind of flutters back and does manage to avoid getting poofed as it makes its way back and kind of lands on your shoulder, hopping around a bit.
Okay. Hey Ness, you familiar with any lizard people? They're a little shorter than me.
Go ahead and roll, Ness. History or nature?
Kind of.
Trash anyway. 8.
Oh, good.
Not really.
Not really.
Yeah. We know a lot.
Lizard people. Don't-
Yeah.
I can't say that I am. Is that what's out there? Lizard people?
Yeah, and they have some bow and arrows. They haven't gotten any closer though. Should I wake everyone, or I can just keep an eye out for another 2 hours, or?
I think they just. What did you see?
They're just kind of looking. I mean, they're armed, but they're just watching. Like, they don't.
They're armed. We're armed. They're just watching. We're just watching.
Yeah. I guess
We
until they
we
get
we
closer,
may we may be
watching.
encroaching on their land.
Yeah. Possible. Totally. Denver might know.
Perhaps. Might be worth wakening him again.
Yeah.
All right. Are you guys waking people?
Can I see if they've like moved at all from since I sent out my familiar?
Both of you go and roll me another perception check.
Sure. 13. Trash rolls.
9. Yeah.
You think you can hear movement in the distance, but as you try to see, neither of you quite makes anything out. But they are definitely still there somewhere.
Okay. I'm gonna poke Fenrir in the face. Fenrir. No. Fenrir.
What's yes.
Lizard people.
I'm sorry. What?
Lizard people.
Yes, I heard you. I'm just trying
There's-
Maybe I should try this in another language.
She says there's lizard people
to. Okay.
out. I haven't seen them, but she's seen them with her familiar.
Do I know of Liz people?
Roll that die.
What should I roll?
Same thing, either nature or history, whichever is higher for you.
Nature's way higher.
Okay.
That's 19.
Based on the description she gives you of these kind of smaller, kind of lizard, scaly creatures, they sound a lot like what you've read and heard stories about of being a small creature called kobolds. And as
Okay.
you kind of now take a look out into the woods, roll me a perception check, Fenrir. And you get to add whatever foresty stupid nonsense to your...
I don't actually add it for that because I already
Okay.
have double.
Foresty stupid nonsense. Is that the technical name?
It is the technical D&D term. Yeah.
Don't be so
that's what it's
salted.
called in the player's guide.
I got 16.
Let me check. As you take a peek out,
Mhm.
you do now see, like as you're now kind of familiar with having grown up here, there are a lot.
Like a lot.
As in, you're having a hard time counting how many as they begin to move kind of in all directions surrounding you. As you now see slowly, they appear to be ever so slowly closing in around you.
Wake everyone up, and I'm going to like go into stealth.
Are we in trouble? Are we in trouble?
Possibly.
Roll me a stealth check, Fenrir.
I
I'm
want to
gonna go-
sit down and grab my crystal and go into a trance.
Okay.
16.
Immediately. That's all
Okay.
I'm doing.
I'm gonna go wake up Mercy.
Dragathiel, roll me. So first, Fenrir, you went to stealth.
Mhm.
Hold on.
What about me?
Hold
You're
on.
not my friend.
Order is
Yeah.
important.
It's true. Most certainly am not.
Fenrir, you rolled what on stealth?
16
Total?
total, yeah.
Okay. You guys see, are you just, where are you going to disappear into the woods to attempt to...
I'm gonna try and get them to leave us alone.
Okay.
I want to get close enough where I can shoot 3 arrows into like right close to the feet of 3 of them. Possibly even see if there's like one that looks like a leader or anything.
Okay.
And then not actually try and hurt them, kind of thing.
Very good. In the meantime, as you guys see him kind of quickly, and quietly stealth into the woods. So, Mercy, you have woken Mercy, or I'm sorry, Ness, you've woken Mercy. And also Alistair.
Sure.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Not trying to put words in your mouth, just...
I don't know. I don't think that was the
Well,
plan.
you said they're like the order matters and slow it down, so I wasn't gonna jump to.
Absolutely. So
Nice
as you guys see him kind of slink off and you all kind of sit up, with
happening?
Dragathiel,
Am I awake now?
you all are shaken awake and you kind of sit up. You're all relatively close to each other. Dragathiel, what exactly are you doing?
I'm going to focus really, really hard on my crystal. And
How would you describe your mood right now?
concerned for my friends?
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Oh boy,
Oh boy.
9.
Okay. I mean, don't worry about it. It wasn't for any sort of failure thing. It was
Okay,
as
Don't
long as
worry about it.
as
the
long
DM
as it-
says.
Don't worry about it.
Doesn't make me feel-
no, as long as it wasn't a 1.
oh good.
Yeah, so I guess you should have worried if it was a 1, but it was not. As the rest of you kind of gather, you see Dragathiel kind of sitting down just kind of in front of you. Kind of you see her having taken her earring off and begins focusing on this small crystal. As suddenly this kind of large portal appears in front of you. I need all of you, except for Fenrir, to make a dexterity saving throw as a large gust of kind of this, almost like a suction of wind, kind of comes out and seems to scoop you all towards this portal.
Suck.
Fuck.
Is that a good oh fuck?
No. Oh Jesus. 7.
All right.
No, wait. Oh, saving throw. Okay, 10.
Okay.
Can I use that luck stone after I roll the first die?
Shh. Does it require attunement, actually?
Yeah.
Did you attune to it?
I did in D&D Beyond, but not
Okay.
probably in the real
I'll
game. Yeah.
I'll allow it, sure.
Well, we had a night, right? that
Did
we
you
ate
did you
food and
declare
stuff.
that dexterity was the save that you wanted to?
It
Oh, you
doesn't.
have to
It doesn't say that.
So okay, let me read it. Let me read what it says, because now I may write it wrong. Either way, Ty, what did Mercy get?
21.
Okay. Dragathiel?
Sorry, I didn't realize I was a part of it.
No.
You said saving throw?
Yes, dexterity.
Oh, okay. 8
Okay.
is good.
It's very good. All right, let me read this. While carrying it, you can gain advantage on one ability check of your choice. Okay. I thought it was. I got it. I read it wrong.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was you
Okay.
chose it, Dawn.
Shows it. Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So, what did you roll on your advantage?
I haven't yet. I just
Okay,
wanted to
go
make
ahead.
sure
Go
it
ahead. Yeah,
does
go ahead.
something.
Sorry. Go ahead and roll.
Fuck. The first one is better. God damn it.
Ain't that
Roll
the
of
way
11.
of things?
Roll of 11.
All right. The three of you rather quickly feel yourselves kind of lifted off your feet and blown through this portal. Mercy, as you manage to kind of like jam your sword into the ground, you look behind you as your friends kind of go falling off into this almost yawning blue portal in front of you that apparently Dragathiel summoned from somewhere.
Yeah, boy.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Oh God.
Oh. What? Can I just yell out? Like what?
Sure, go ahead.
What?
Yeah,
What's
can I
happening?
yell out?
In the meantime, the three of you find yourselves falling about 10 feet as you kind of hit with a thud. It's not too hard, but you do take 6 points of damage from this, which I rolled a 6. I'm sorry. It's
Not
You-
bad.
you-
Not too hard. It's just 6 points of
Just a-
damage.
suck it up. You're level 5 now. All right. As you kind of like land amidst this just kind of blue, it's just a field of tall grass, probably a couple feet high. As you kind of all leave a body imprint in this grass, just kind of waving. As you see this portal up above you in the air, you do hear Mercy kind of crying out, asking what happened.
Let go!
Okay. Okay. I pull the sword out of the ground.
Okay. You kind of end up pulled through the portal.
Can I
also,
try and maintain?
You make a dexterity saving throw as you are now falling.
20 total.
Okay. You do manage to kind of like deftly, as you kind of go through, you kind of do a nice like like twirl with your feet go over your head, and then you land in a nice little 3-point landing on the ground.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, 3-point here superhero landing on the ground
Yeah.
in front of everybody. At this point, Finvir, you see this portal in the distance.
Oh dear God.
As you go to make your way towards it,
Yeah.
it does close back up, leaving you alone in the forest. And we'll pick your story back up later. In the meantime, the four of you, now in this strange land, you take a look around. Everybody roll me a history check. Or again, nature. This applies to both.
God fucking 11.
19.
You can always tell when people roll well.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
13.
So, Alistair and Dragathiel. Dragathiel, you may not know the name for it, but this is the place that you've often seen in your dreams. That has often been something of a home away from home in your mind that you just didn't know existed for real. Alistair, as you look around, kind of taking in what is around you, having read a few books in your travel, this looks oddly like something described as the Feywild. As you kind of glance around, seeing just this almost endless field of blue grass and this kind of light source that appears to be coming from not from a sun, but just from the plane of existence itself, is this gentle light that seems to keep things kind of constantly lit. You guys are in a very strange place as compared to the material plane you came from, and it is immediately obvious from just how you feel to the way the air kind of feels as it goes in and out of your lungs. It's a bit disorienting at first as you guys kind of try to get your bearings as you stand up and look left to right, but you are now in what appears to be an endless field of these tall blue blades of grass.
Well, that's weird.
What is this?
I mean, I'm no expert, but this seems like the Feywild. I can just say that, right? Because I
Yeah.
like, know what it is.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Wait.
I mean, this seems like we're in like
What?
imagine. Is this like so? Clarification. Is this a real place? Is this like a physical place? Are
It's
we in
imagination land.
Like, I'm serious. Like I don't know.
The Feywild is rumored to be where a lot of fairy creatures and elf kind originally came from. It is another plane of existence that is kind of parallel to your own. From what?
So we're like on the astral plane or something.
Not quite. That's a different plane, actually.
That's a whole
Oh,
other
oh, that's like an actual plane.
It
Oh,
is.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Well then,
There's a bunch of
The
different-
There's a bunch of
Feywild.
planes.
The Feywild is a plane of a bit of mystery and magic. There are creatures both wonderful and terrible. The place you are now doesn't seem so bad, but you know from what you've read, many a story in the Feywild have resulted in people never coming back or coming back changed, as mysterious creatures and mischievous fairies seem to kind of sometimes toy with the folk that come through here, especially those that are not familiar with the plane.
okay, so this could be good or this could be very bad. How did you get us here, Dragathiel? What
Why did
what
you
was
get
all
us
that?
here?
What? Yeah, why? What just happened?
Okay.
Not reassuring. Not
Okay.
reassuring.
Yeah. Hey guys,
Hi.
welcome to the land of my mother.
Okay,
Cool.
but the why though?
So you see, what happened was, you guys were sleeping. I was watching, and then there were all these lizard people, and then we were able to figure out that there was an uncountable number of them surrounding us, and I didn't know any other way to get you guys safe than this weird portal thing that I kind of figured out I could do just the other night. And I didn't know if I could really do it, but I figured against hundreds of monster, creature, people, things, it didn't
Okay.
look very good.
Did we
Really
know?
do it.
Where?
Did we know? Okay, did I see the lizard people as they were like sort of surrounding us when I woke up?
I don't think you would have had time. You're
Okay,
You're
I didn't
also
think so.
you
And
also
your
don't have
human
dark
eyes.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay, so I didn't see them. Okay, lizard people, and we know they were like we were being ambushed, or they were
all had
unfriendly.
weapons. Yep, they had weapons and they were closing in on us for sure.
Jagathiel, where's Fenvir?
He disappeared. I don't know.
He went off into the woods.
Disappeared.
He went into the woods. I don't know. As soon as he said, "Go wake everyone up," I thought to myself, "There's hundreds of things. We could all die. I just want us to all be safe." And the portal worked and sucked us in. I didn't expect it to suck us in. I thought I could hold it and control it. Maybe, I don't know, because it didn't seem to have
Can
any.
you
sense
get us
whenever
back?
I did it.
Yeah,
Okay.
can we portal again? Can we do more portaling?
I don't know.
Oh,
You don't know.
Okay, all right. Back off. We're safe. We're alive.
Are we
no,
safe?
no.
Are we safe?
We are very most certainly not necessarily safe. That is a big.
Oh, because we were safer back there.
quite possibly.
You can't see in the dark. You don't know.
But you just described lizard
In the dark.
people.
And now
Yeah,
we're,
I get
we're
it.
someplace.
Arrows that already had shot at my familiar.
And now
they
we're in a
already-
place we don't know anything about that's scaring you, and you're the one who took us here.
I'm not scared of the place.
What are you afraid of?
I'm scared of why. I'm scared of who I'll find.
At this point, you do hear a voice from behind you, Dragathiel,
fuck.
as all of you now see a kind of tall, elven-looking man, something a little different about him, standing there, says, "Yes, perhaps you should be concerned. But
Can
it
I draw
is-"
my?
Go
my
ahead.
rapier?
Yes, you can
It's
draw. You can
mine.
draw a weapon.
I'm drawing my rapier.
Okay.
Perhaps you look a bit flustered. Is this your first time?
It's their first time, and I didn't mean to bring them here.
Yes, I can tell many of them do not belong here, but I can let them stay for now, I suppose.
Could you?
Gee, thanks.
Do you perchance know another woman by the name of Titania, sir?
Of course.
Lead the way, please.
I think it would be a lot more fun just to see how this unfolds.
And I think it'd be a lot more interesting if you just did what I said.
Wait. Do you know this person? Do you... Who are you looking for? Or not looking for?
Well, I get the sense that I'm not supposed to know that you're here yet. So I'm just going to play along for now. So you all have fun, and we shall see each other soon. And at this point, you see is just immediately he vanishes from in front of you.
I do not like that guy.
Okay.
I do not like this place.
Okay.
You okay, Dragathiel?
Yep. I don't know
So
who that was.
this is not your. This is our first time, but not yours. You know where we are. You know where how we can get out of here. Maybe. Do you know
It's called a
anything?
bluff. It was a bluff. The whole thing was a bluff. I was gonna get him to take us to town to someone that might actually help us. Maybe not. I don't know yet.
So you have no game plan, just made a portal to some place. Just
Look,
because you could.
We have
Rather than-
a
You know
choice
what? Let me
now.
go sit over there and work on making you a portal back to the lizard men so they can eat you, honey. I'll be right back. I just
We-
walk away.
Okay.
Fine. I think that's a great idea.
As you see her begin walking away.
Better the devil you know, right?
The grass kind of like, as your head kind of is just a little below the grass level, you see her kind of disappear into the grass, heading away from you. What are you guys doing?
Following her.
Okay.
Dragathiel. We can't see
Yes.
you. You can stay with us, or you can go off on your own. But
I march back.
you probably should
What
stay
is-
with us.
But where are you guys going?
I don't. Where are you going? You just getting mad and walking off.
I'm going that way. You know, something pulled me here in the first place, so maybe it can pull me somewhere else.
Okay. Lead the way.
I'm gonna close my eyes and focus on my hearing and see if I feel a direction.
Okay. As you do hear this familiar voice, kind of just a whisper on the wind now, rather than being fully in your head, as the rest of you hear this as well. Dragathiel, I am pleased that you have come, but I do hope that you are prepared for what you may find. I unfortunately cannot risk just bringing you here, but perhaps if you can find your way, we can speak in person, but I must be very discreet. If you would...
Who are you?
You shall see soon, I promise. If you but... And you feel like just this kind of pull kind of turns you off to your right. If you but head this direction, I think you will find the way. Just be careful. Avoid talking or touching, or just be careful and keep your wits about you. As this voice kind of begins to fade off into the wind, I shall see you soon.
Okay. Let's go this way. And I start walking.
Okay. She begins walking in a direction seemingly no more significant than any other. Just kind of her head again disappearing behind the grass. You see the bits of grass kind of moving as she makes her way through. With her hand raised. Are you guys all following then?
Yes.
Okay. You guys managed to walk for probably an hour before any sort of different landmark shows up other than this just endless ocean of this blue waving grass. And as you begin to kind of reach this edge of this border, roll me a perception check, Dragathio, real quick.
Nine.
Okay. Actually, you wouldn't be able to see super well anyways. Who's the tallest among you?
That's so nice.
Not
Out of all of
me.
us?
Yeah, out of all of you.
Probably Mercy or me.
I'm 5'8". I know. My
Oh,
character's
never
5'8".
mind. I'm 6'1".
Okay.
Am I? Yeah, 6 something.
Oh boy.
I'll allow you to roll then as well, since you have the greatest visibility.
Excellent. 10. Wait, what? It's just wait. What am I adding this to?
Perception.
I'm adding this- Is that right? Oh no.
I don't know.
Oh no. 11.
11. You kind of take a look around, but you don't see anything as the grass keeps moving. As you begin making your way, you can see finally what appears to be the edge of all of this grass ahead of you. Probably another half a mile away or so. As you guys begin making your way closer and closer, you're probably about halfway there, when suddenly you hear just these kind of giggles, and now around you can see what appear to be tiny people kind of skating on the tops of the grass as it begins to change color, almost in a rainbow swirl, as they're all kind of going around you. And you hear these little voices like, "Hey, hello," and they're just kind of all circling around you, seemingly very interested in your presence. And we're going to leave it there, and we're going to pick up this next week. So, thank you guys so much for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. I would try and go later, but we do have to prepare to leave for the airport to pick up Pint in a minute.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's fun.
So, our party now in the Feywild, going to get into some shenanigans.
Excellent. That's
We'll see how this goes. Hunter may be back in the near future. For now, he's gone. We'll see. Well, I'll have to do a session one-off with him just to kind of figure out a few things, and then hopefully you guys will see him in the future if he's not dead. And
Come on, I'll be fine.
Ha!
Probably.
I have Horde Breaker. I can go through hordes then easily.
That's fine.
All
What
right.
don't you have? Goodness gracious.
You're right.
It's all Ranger stuff.
To be
man.
An arm.
Yeah.
A loving
Hey.
parent.
That's
So,
like
yeah.
all of us.
you can
We all
really
have
feel
such
lots
mommy
of
and daddy
shit.
issues.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Nobody goes into adventure
Too much
because they're
love.
loved.
That's true.
I got,
I'm happy. I'm happy and
This-
wealthy at
this
home.
Love.
Should have. I know.
Ness is loved.
Uh-huh.
Shut up.
That's true.
We should have renamed this like Roll of Fate Family Feud.
My uncle loves me.
Let's see if it's on the board. Nope.
We'll see if it's-
Familial love. Not right. Nope.
Survey says
All right.
0.
Survey says.
With that, we are going to go ahead and call that a night. Does anybody have any announcements? Nope.
Do I have an
Nah.
announcement?
Well,
No.
you're
Except for
Ty,
what?
Ty's at my house.
Monday's campaign
Yes, guys.
too.
He's in my I don't know where he's on the screen. He's in my basement.
I'm in his basement. I'm in Wizard's basement. I'm at his house. I get to touch
That's
him.
crazy. Hey.
Yeah, so we'll
With permission.
we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna go
Yeah, so-
consensually touch each other and go pick up Pint, who's also here, and we're gonna do a fun stream probably tomorrow. If at least one, we're gonna be doing
Neat.
one tomorrow. We didn't really announce it or anything, but we're gonna be doing a stream tomorrow. Do all sorts of musics and things. So if you're around,
Rad as hell.
Nice. hang out for that. Wink. Also, we haven't announced that yet either, but we are working on a really dope theme song, like an intro song for our D&D campaigns.
It's
I love it.
It's
badass.
really good. I want to give you guys a preview
fucking
of it, but at the same time, I
badass.
don't yet. So
No. Keep
Hold
it
on to
a perfect
yeah,
secret.
we're going
It's
to be recording some of the vocals for it this weekend. Hopefully, all of it, assuming we can get it all tracked out, and then hopefully we'll get to. Anyways, and we have some other songs planned, and I do have some. Anyways, I've got this is all sorts of fun stuff. So we're gonna do that, and we'll hopefully be able to show that off soon. And until then, let's kick this over to somebody. Anybody else? Ty, you were saying something? Did you have something?
No, just that I'm here.
Okay, just that I'm here. All right.
Writing the
Victor, it was
song
really fun playing with you.
Yeah, it was fun being a little guest.
Yeah, and we'll and
Please don't die.
Hope to see you.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
I'm
yeah.
like, at least he passed his stealth check.
I mean, did I?
Yeah, who knows?
Probably not the best. I mean, I broke myself, so I can always stealth again. Whatever.
All right. I'm gonna kick this over. Here's a new. Here, I've never seen these guys before. How re-roll. That is actually kind of a tongue twister. How re-roll. They're doing Dungeons and Dragons
How
right now.
re-roll.
How re-roll. So we're gonna kick a.
How we roll.
How re-roll.
huh?
Never.
So we're gonna kick a raid over those guys. So everybody go say hello. Thanks again for everybody playing. Thanks for all the views and everything. We'll see you next Thursday. Also, Monday campaign. We'll be back on Monday. So until
Ooh,
then,
it's getting good.
until then, bye everybody.
Bye.
Boom, raid now and also in stream.